Tonight on Sports Path, we follow the Hill Murray girls playoff run, and it includes a trip downtown to the Excel Center. They bring home the hardware? Well, we'll see.
And there were also some controversial call on the White Bear Lake boys hockey playoff run, and we got the replays to prove it.
Not to mention, we have your girls and boys highlights as well, and all this and more coming up as we lead you down the Sports Path.
It is time to kick off the winter sports season here on TV 19 Sports.
Glad to have you along with us on TV 19.
It's been a while, but we are so glad to be back in the studio to bring your Fab 5 school highlights. I'm Sam Erickson, joined alongside Michael Lawrence.
Here's what we have coming for you on the show. We got boys and girls hockey tournament action. And hey, just because this is in Minnesota, we haven't forgotten about those basketball highlights. We also have some coaches' interviews sprinkled in as well.
But first, we'll take a look at the girls hockey Section 4A bracket. As you see it there, Matamidi took on Chisago Lakes, defeating them 7-1. Simley took out Minnehaha United 3-2 in overtime, moving them on to the semifinals. In the semifinals, Matamidi was upended by St. Paul United, and South St. Paul defeated Simley. And that final saw South St. Paul upset St. Paul United in overtime 2-1 as the Lady Packers found themselves back into the state hockey tournament.
Now let's take a look at the girls Section 4 AA bracket, where Hill Murray will have a first round bye. White Bear taking on Stillwater, losing 6-2. Tartan losing in big fashion to Roseville 0-5. And then North beats Cretin-Durham Hall 6-1, moving on to the next round. Hill Murray faces Stillwater, winning 3-1. Roseville faces Cretin-Durham Hall, losing 4-2. And then that sets up the final where Hill Murray takes on Cretin Hall, winning 3-1. And then Hill Murray will be your champion. But now, back in February, the Stillwater Ponies traveled to Aldridge Arena to take on Hill Murray in girls hockey for some section semifinal action. Early in the second period, Lindsay Featherstone finds the net for the Pioneers to break the 0-0 lead tie. Later in the period, Pioneers' Mariah Quapple will be sent to the penalty box for slashing. Moments later, the Ponies on a power play, Brianna Dozenak passes from the blue line to find Lauren Greeter, who tips it in for the tying goal. Moving on to the third, Laura Anderson in transition breaks the Stillwater defenders and pokes it in for the 2-1 lead. In the final seconds, Rachel Herzog will add to the Hill Murray lead on an empty netter as the Pioneers beat the Ponies 3-1. Now we'll set up for the next round.
That's right, with that victory over Stillwater, Hill Murray took on Cretin-Durham Hall in the section final. That one a couple nights later on the 13th down at the St. Croix Valley Rec Center. This one got physical early as Paige Voigt of Cretin-Durham Hall will find herself in the box for her part in a little bit of a roughing, they'll say. As you see there. But this one was scoreless until the third period when Rebecca Zarambinski finds Jess Bonfie out in front of the net. She puts it past the goalie to give Hill Murray the 1-0 lead. But moments later, Cretin-Durham Hall would answer right back as Paige Voigt finishes off the nice wraparound goal, tying the game at 1. Under a minute left to go, Lindsay Featherstone stopped, gets her own rebound, and puts it past the goalie to give Hill Murray the 2-1 advantage. And a little bit later, they will cap off the section championship, getting the empty net goal. 3-1 would be the final. Laura Anderson getting that one. You see them celebrate the section championship as they look to move on to the state tournament and defend their 2014 state title.
No, I don't really see it that way. My experience has been the sections have been the toughest. The kids are so excited once they get to St. Paul that it's not really that much pressure. I know the press will probably bring it up, but that's the beauty of kids. They won't know one way or the other. So,
All right.
Take a look here at the Class AA Girls Hockey State Tournament bracket. You see Hill Murray was the 2 seed. They got past unseeded Eastview 6-1 in the first round. That moved them on to the semifinals where Hill Murray took on Edina and edged them 2-1. Minnetonka got past Lakeville South in their semifinal 5-1, setting up that state championship. 1 seed versus 2 seed. 2 seed wins it this time as Hill Murray pulls the upset, wins 2-1, and are back-to-back state Class 2A champions.
The Pioneers made the short drive to downtown St. Paul to the Xcel Energy Center, home of your Minnesota Wild. Both teams fired up to make the trip as they all want the hardware, but only one could take it away. The fans showing their support in the first state matchup against Edina. And even the pep band made it out in full force. Both teams getting ready to take the ice, getting ready for the face-off. In the first period, Lexi Klein, well, she'll get loose, and then eventually she'll break away from the Edina defenders, but she does not beat Anna Goldstein, the goalie. Goldstein will prove to be difficult all night as she'll stand strong once again as she faces multiple opportunities from the Pioneer attack, but still no goal. Just an amazing job out of her. Now Edina getting on the offensive. Sophie Slattery finds herself on a one-on-one situation, but she can't finish. In the second period, Taylor Williamson glides to the net, and she will shoot, misses, tries again, finds the net for the Hornet goal. Edina once again threatening moments later with Anna Rusk on a breakaway. She shoots, but blocked, just misses the ricochet for the for sure goal. Nice defense by Kenny Hogue to get her stick in there. Early in the third, Klein once again on a breakaway, but Goldstein holds her ground once again. Later, the Pioneers on a power play. Mackenzie Steifen delivers a slap shot, but luckily Laura Anderson is there for the cleanup. The Pioneers advance on to the next round, winning 2-1.
That next round will be for all the marbles, as we said before. Hill Murray took on Minnetonka in the state tournament as they try to defend their 2014 title. You see the fans out there. Minnetonka gets this one scoring early in the first as they slip one past Hill Murray goalie Leah Patrick. A little bit later, Laura Anderson on the near side gets a wrister to go past the Minnetonka goalie, as this one would be tied 1-1 going into the third period. Deep in their own zone, Minnetonka struggling with it a little bit. Bad turnover right into the front of the net. Jess Bontenfee pounces on it, slams it home, gives Hill Murray the 2-1 lead. That would be your final, and Hill Murray would be your AA Girls State Hockey Tournament champions.
What a great season for those Hill Murray girls. Coming up after the break, we take a look at how well the Hill Murray boys did on their playoff run with reaction from head coach Bill Lechner.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home walk restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Welcome back. We want to give you a reminder to like us on Facebook. And while you're there, feel free to check out some of the games that we've covered so far this year.
And if you had your fill of Facebook, be sure to follow us on Twitter.
Before we get into the boys hockey highlights, let's take a look at some of the brackets, as this is the Section 4 Single A bracket with Mahtomedi getting the #1 seed. They easily went by Henry Sibley 14-4 in the first round, as Sibley lost out to St. Paul Academy 6-0. Mahtomedi in the semifinals defeated South St. Paul 7-0 to get themselves into that final round, where they would be taking on St. Paul Academy, and Mahtomedi edges SPA 5-2 in the Section 4A championship, and they will be that section's representative at the XL in the state tournament.
Now let's take a look at your state Class 4A boys state hockey bracket. Maunamite High as the 2 seed wins 3-2 over New Elm, and they'll advance into the next round, where they will face East Grand Forks, losing 2-5, and then they'll go to the consolation bracket where they'll square off against St. Cloud Apollo, and Maunamite High will win 4-3, and they'll be your 3rd place finisher in the Class A bracket.
So that is how the Class A state bracket ended up. We'll take a look at the Class 4AA section tournament. Hill Murray getting the #1 seed, White Bear Lake the 2 seed, Stillwater the 3 seed. All teams victorious in the opening round, getting into the semifinals where Hill Murray took on Mounds View, defeating them 5-2. And Stillwater got by White Bear Lake 3-2 in double overtime. And in that section final, Hill Murray wins 4-0 over Stillwater, and they will be your Section 4AA state representatives at the state tournament.
But let's take a closer look as we have the Hill Murray boys hockey playoff run with these highlights. We start off with their matchup against Mounds View, and the Pioneers got off to a rocky start with Tyler Yo gets 2 minutes for tripping. Now down a man, Marco Reifenberger somehow finds Zach Mills across the rink, who gets the goal. And things really open up for Hill Murray. Mill goes one-on-one with the defender, gets past him, and the goalie for his 2nd goal. Seconds later, Ricky Zellner wants in on some of the action. It gets himself a goal. And the Pioneers go into the first intermission with a 3-0 lead, but Mounds View will not give up, with Alex Palencia stretches out his pass, and Austin Ramirez is at the right spot to get the goal. Still in the second, David Zarabinski from all the way from the red line goes along with the Pioneer answer, 4-1 Hill Murray. Later, Reifenberg will add another one to the Pioneer tally, and it was too little too late for the Mustangs as they would add another, but it was all Hill Murray as they advanced, beating Mounds View 5-2. Lick Howard catches up with Coach Bill Lechner to get his thoughts going forward into this sectional round.
Should be a good one as the players.
No, we just, I told the guys, whatever, whoever wins tomorrow night, we play on Friday. So, we have rivalries with both of them, and, we're on a mission. So we'll just, whoever we get, and we'll do our best to prepare for them. Well, we have to play better, but from history of doing this, the first game, on Saturday, that's always really a weird challenge, especially when you're a 1 seed and play at 11 in the morning. And then the second semifinals is about the way it goes. Every team is going to give it their best shot. You got a lot of seniors that are playing for that last moment. So no matter what happened during the year with these teams or who they've won or lost to, you get everybody's best shot, and so you have to be prepared for that. So I think we played okay. We played well enough to win, obviously, but we'll play better on Friday as well.
And in the second semifinal of this section, it pitted the #2 seed White Bear Lake against 3 seed Stillwater. White Bear Lake gets a scoring opening in the second period with some nice passing as A.J. Welch finds Tom Giller, who slides it over to Brett Meester for the easy goal. And Meister's pretty excited there. Later on in the second period, #9, Garrett Siegfried of Stillwater called for the hook there. As you see him head over to the sin bin, and with the man advantage, Tom Giller gets the puck and slides it through the 5-hole to beat the Stillwater keeper and open up White Bear Lake's advantage 2-0. Stillwater gets one back though, as Matthew Stanton throws one in front of a crowded net, and it goes in. And to tie the game, they get one late in this one as the crossing pass somehow gets deflected in, and Stillwater ties it 2-2, taking this into overtime. In the first overtime with 10 seconds left to go, Stillwater thought they got the game winner, fooled the lamplighter, but the refs say no goal. If you take a closer look, right as the puck looks like it may cross the line, #23 Tom Giller bumps the net. Whether he did it on purpose, I do not know. We may never know. But regardless, Stillwater did not win on that shot. It would take us into double overtime. You see the refs waving it off. They were right on top of that. Into the double overtime. Puck trickles to Simon Sagasor. He backhands it through the 5-hole past the White Bear Lake keeper. And Stillwater takes this one 3-2. The Pony faithful very excited as they pull the upset to book themselves a place in the section championship against vaunted Hill Murray.
Another Fab Five school for Stillwater up next. You see right there the fans getting ready. This time it's Hill Murray. In the early going, the Ponies' Tyler Benson is charged with slashing on the power play. Jake Whittle gives it to Mikey Anderson, who gets it across the line, and the Pioneers take the early lead. In the second, Nick Novak breaks away from the Hill Murray defenders, but he is called offsides. They can't believe it there in the arena. Later, the Pioneers, Tyler Nowak shoots, misses, gets his own rebound, and gets the score. Hill Murray up 2-zip. Moments later, Zach Mills, well, he's going to be showing off some fancy moves here soon as he gets by his defender to put the Pioneers up 3-0. Hey, you got some fancy dance moves as well. Stillwater's still battling. Jack Manning shoots, but the puck bounces around, hits the pipe on the line, and the Ponies come up empty-handed as you see the puck just sail away from the net. Late in the game, Zach Mills has a breakaway and fires from way outside, and he'll add another to the Hill Murray lead. The Pioneers take this one, winning 4-0 over Stillwater. We caught up with Coach Bill Lechner after the game once again, this time as section champs, and what it means for his team.
They get to experience a once-in-a-lifetime thing for some folks.
Yeah, it feels great. You know, it's been, obviously it was like we had to wait a year for this moment again because, you know, last year we didn't do well. So it's been on my mind literally at least once a day for about a year. So it's nice. These guys, the kids performed. I thought the coaching staff and the players really played well. They did everything we asked. They stayed disciplined, you know, got the gritty goals, got a nice power play early, and ran our system. So very proud of him today. He's been great. And our other goalie, Sean Wentland, if you look, has played about half the season too. But, you know, it comes down to, you know, we got to go with a little bit of your gut or who at that moment kind of leads the way. And Beggs, we saw signs of it, and it's not taken away from Sean. We've been blessed with two really good goalies, but we just went with Beggs tonight, and he performed.
Unseeded taking on Lakeville North, losing 4-1. And then in the next round, Duluth East beats Edina 3-1 with Lakeville North beating Eden Prairie 6-2, and that will set up the championship round with Duluth East and Lakeville North, with Lakeville North winning 4-1, and they'll be your Class AA state champions.
All right, coming up next, we'll switch to the hardwood, and we'll see if Lindsay Malika can lead the Pioneer girls past the sectional round, and also see if Marshawn Wilson can do the same for the Hill Murray boys.
If you store your guns properly, I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Welcome back to Sports Path. I'm Michael Lawrence, joined alongside Sam Erickson. I hope you got your daily dose of hockey because now it's time to move on to basketball.
And with that, we'll take a look at the girls basketball Section 4 3A section bracket. As you see, Simley, representing one of our Fab Fives, defeated South St. Paul, and Hill Murray with the 2 seed got past Highland Park 70-31. New Prague defeated Red Wing 73-43 in the semifinals as Hill Murray got past Simley there 62-40. And in that section championship, New Prague prevailed over Hill Murray 58-38. As you see, they will be the Section 4 3A champions and represent that section at the state tournament.
Now let's take a longer look at the Hill Murray run as Hill Murray would win the opening tip. Sam Oberstar will miss for Simley, but luckily Abby Kine is there for the putback. And then Lindsay Malika drives towards the basket, misses, but she gets fouled, and the Pioneers' first point will come in the form of a 3-throw. Later, Malika streaks down the court and gets the layup to fall. The Spartans, looking to slow the game down, starts to stall on the offense, trying to limit possessions from Hill Murray. kind of will hold on to the ball for an eternity. Still holding. Now in the waiting seconds of the half, Katie Atkins shoots from the top of the arc, beats the buzzer for 2 points. Simile takes the 19-18 lead into the locker room. In the second half, Olivia Graskowitz nails the 3-ball, trying to play up tempo as Malika goes around her defender for 2. And then later, Ellie Swartz finds herself on the receiving end of a long pass into the paint and gets the bucket. Now the Pioneers are just showing off their fantastic ball movement, going around on their offensive set, and finally finds Malika for the open 3. The Spartans trying to stop the bleeding uses a full court press, but the Pioneers handle it with ease as they get another 2 points to fall. Hill Murray uses a huge second half to win 62-40 over Simile. We met up with Coach Erin Herman after the game, who thought her team was overthinking a little too much in that first half.
Well, I think I've got a team of kids. I've got 7 kids that are 4.0 students. My whole team's GPA is 3.8. They think too much. They analyze too much. And I think in the first half they were trying to figure out, what am I going to do about this? Just thinking too much. And we said at halftime, go play to win. Quit playing careful. Quit thinking so much. Just go play to win. Can't be afraid to make mistakes. You just got to get after it. And I think they really did in the second half.
Good memories. And so defeating Simile meant that Hill Murray would take on New Prague in the Section 4 3A final, but that would be a tough task as you see star guard Lindsay Maleka sidelined by an injury suffered that Tuesday. But teammate Sarah Langer trying to fill her shoes as she's good from beyond the arc there. A little bit later, a turnover for Hill Murray as Jess Aller intercepts for New Prague, and she goes the distance for the easy lay-in. Langer once again gets it into the action as she hits from 3 another time, that one in the corner. And then Olivia Graskowitz hits a 3 of her own to give Hill Murray their first lead of this one. Hill Murray trailing a little bit later on the inbound pass, stolen away by New Prague's Maddie Geeson. She will take it the distance and get the easy 2. And then with time winding down in the first half, nifty little inbounds play by New Prague as Maisie Deal lays in the up and under, and that would give New Prague the 34-24 lead at half. Opening up the second half, Jess Aller hits a 3. That would put New Prague ahead 35-24. They wouldn't look back as they win this one 58-38 to take that Section 4 AAA crown.
Now let's take a look at the Section 4 Quadruple A. Tartan losing big to Roseville in that first round. Matamidi High beating Stillwater 71-59, and then North St. Paul loses to White Bear Lake 77-55. On to the next round. Roseville beats St. Paul Central Big 63-39. In the bottom half of the bracket, Matamidi High will lose to White Bear Lake 69-52. Then in the final, White Bear beats Roseville 53-41, and they will be your Section 4 Quadruple A champion.
So a good season there for the Hill Murray girls. Comes up just short, but congratulations to White Bear Lake on their appearance in the state tournament. Before we get into the boys basketball highlights, we'll take a look at the Section 4 3A boys basketball bracket. As Hill Murray got the 2 seed in this bracket, defeating South St. Paul 93-67 in the quarterfinals. And Johnson took on Simile in the semifinals, 93-65. They won it. Hill Murray just getting past St. Thomas Academy in their semifinal matchup, 81-79. And that would mean that Johnson would meet Hill Murray in the championship. Johnson edging Hill Murray 85-78, so which would mean that they would return to the state tournament.
Now let's take a closer look at that basketball game. Here we see St. Paul Johnson, Jalen Mosby, but it will be Eric Elliott getting things going for the Governors. And then Jack Fahey will get the Pioneer answer with a 3-pointer. San Westby finds his big man, Chris Moore, works it in for the basket down low. Down by 4, Pioneers coach Brady Hannigan takes a timeout, draws up a play for Marshawn Wilson at the top of the key, but he misses his jump shot. And then on the other end, the Governors try to extend their lead, but can't. And then Wilson will once again be called. He's with the ball, drives into the paint, cuts the lead to 2 as he gets his basket to fall. Johnson takes the halftime lead, 42-40. In the second half, Mobley takes the pass, makes a move inside the arc, gets his jump shot to fall. Westby shoots a three, misses, cleared by Andre Smith, who finds Malik Jones on the other end of the floor for the easy transition basket. Simeon Davis trying to stop the bleeding for Hill Murray, but can't. Mobley somehow finds the basketball, drives up the court, and finds Jones for another 2 points to extend their lead. But Hannigan is forced to call a timeout, but it would be all Governors the rest of the way as they would win 85-78. And then we'll take a look at the boys section bracket for 4 quadruple A. North loses to Roseville 91-47. Tartan beats Mounds View 81-78. And then White Bear loses to Maunamite High 54-43. On to the semifinal action. Roseville beats Tartan 61-58. Maunamite High edges out Stillwater by 2 points, and they'll meet up Roseville in the championship round, where they will lose 52-63, and Roseville will be your state representative out of this section bracket.
All right, after that we're going to take a short break, but when we come back we will preview this upcoming spring season.
Stay tuned.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Welcome back one final time. You know, we just don't cover athletics here at the Sports Path.
That's right, we like to cover all extracurricular activities, and that includes a group of bright students over at White Bear Lake High School, where their Moody Mega Math team placed in the top 65 in a national competition this last weekend, winning $1,000 to be split amongst themselves as a scholarship. Congrats to those 5 students and from Moody Mega Math.
Yeah, just a good job by them. I mean, exercise an important organ of themselves, the brain. Well, that's a wrap on the winter season, but the spring season is just starting to pick up steam with baseball, softball, lacrosse, track and field, and golf.
And we will continue to bring you all the action as we broadcast our favorite Fab 5 schools on the diamonds for baseball and softball, as well as hitting up the field for lacrosse. So stay tuned to TV19 Sports for all your East Metro sports action.
That's all the time we have for you. Catch us next time as we navigate you down the sports path.